There you see the story of the match. Notre Dame winning the third set, 25-22. Hawaii still leads in the match, 2-1. There you see the numbers. Notre Dame hitting 0-5-9 in the first set, 258 in the second set, 344 in the third set. Hawaii 406 in the first, 282 and then 188. So you see two opposing scales there. Notre Dame improving. Hawaii sliding down the number.
By far their best performance offensively in 2 nights here in Honolulu. They really played well. More kills, had 16 kills, only 4 errors. So huge improvement.
Hawaii will serve. It will be Croson. So we are into the fourth set of the fourth game. There's that big toss. Gets it over, dug up by Silva. Brindock goes out to Alubwe. And that goes off the block, hits the antenna. That's a point for Notre Dame. Notre Dame must win this fourth set and then take it to the 15-point all or nothing fifth game. That ball is served by Brindock, but long.
It's Notre Dame's 9th service error of the night to go along with no aces.
Serving is Hewitt. Brindock to McHugh. That's blocked back. Blocked back by Adolfo. Adolfo and Uriato.
Good cover by Alubwe, but she couldn't get any help. Ball came off the net, but nobody around to help her.
Hewitt serving again. That's a shank. That's an ace. The ball went off house.
Brittany Hewitt at 6'3". She does that jump float. She's jumping up pretty high, hits the ball at a very flat trajectory. And when she pops it just right, it moves a lot like a knuckleball. Tough to pass.
Over again, the ball dug up. Lupwe joust at the net. Uriato able to get it down.
Uriato got away with one there. She just sort of tapped it down before the block got set.
Hewitt serving again. Diving dig by McHugh, getting the ball over as Brindock. Away with the free ball. Step out, and Adolfo.
Adolfo on the night, her 5th kill. She's hitting almost 200, so Uriato's starting to connect better with her middles.
Hawaii leading 5-1 in the fourth. Outside it goes. Alubwe saved by Adolfo after a diving dig by Hartung, but Croson mishits it into the net. If
you recall last game, Croson launched one way long on a similar play. That time she just overcompensated. She made sure she didn't hit it out.
McHugh serving. Danielson, a tough angle again, but Danielson hits it wide.
That ball died inside and it was drifting to the net. Very difficult ball to attack. All Kanani can do is try to better that set.
Serving is McHugh for Notre Dame. Dug up by Croson, Uriato. Danielson saved by McHugh. Brindock. That ball hit over by Deely. Danielson again. This time it's in.
Good swing by Kanani that time, and Uriato gave her a set that she was right in her wheelhouse, and she had a split block as well. 13 kills for Kanani.
6 serving 3. Serving is Uriato. Deely. That's a point for Notre Dame. The ball hit. She got a touch on that.
Deely, who struggled last night, 7 kills, 6 errors. She goes over the block there, lands on the back line. That is Deely's 9th kill tonight. Only 3 errors tonight. Hey, everybody's a much better night. One of 2 seniors. She's a co-captain along with Frenchie Silva, the libero.
Sevlin serving for Notre Dame. Croson, Uriato comes back to the middle. Croson hits it right down the center of the court. and gets it by McHugh.
That was a broken play when Croson shanked the first pass. The only place really that Huiato could go was back to Croson in the back row.
7 serving for Danielson serving. Brindock step out. That ball goes down by Hauser. Hauser can be a problem on that outside, especially with the step out offensively, and then she's there to add the block to the block for Notre Dame.
Exactly. Now she's rotating to the back, and Hawaii hitters breathe a sigh of relief.
Hauser serves. Danielson, Huiato, Croson. Croson hits it off the block.
Croson likes the matchup now. She's rotated into the front, but she's going up against Brindock, the setter, who's 5'10", rather than the 6'3" Hauser.
Blake serves. McHugh, Brindock, back set. Epping hits it long.
Epping had very few errors early in the game. All of a sudden now that's her 6th one. She was almost errorless the first set and a half.
Hawaii leading by 4. Blake will serve again. McHugh, Brindock tries the dink shot, doesn't work at all. They go cross court to Hartung, and Hartung knocks over Silva. Silva, I bet you in her career she's been knocked over more than maybe 10 times, maybe even 20 times.
She's a feisty little player, all Big East pick. She's a great passer, great defender.
She's a featherweight. Blake serving again. Brindock. That ball hit over, and what a shot by Hauser.
You don't see a one-legged takeoff behind the 3-meter line very often, but Hauser just did it. It's like taking off on a layup. Watch this. One leg, bam. Shows up in a hurry. Huiato was not ready for that.
Dealey will serve for Notre Dame. 6 serving 10. Blake, Huiato, Croson. Back up by Silva. Brindock. That ball is hit over with authority, but Hawaii will return it. Danielson waiting for it is Brindock. Here's Hauser. That's blocked back. And no, didn't go over. That's a 4 hits. Hit the take. 11-6. Hawaii leading. Maeda will come into the game for Hawaii. Emily Maeda comes in for Emily Hartung.
Maeda coming in to provide a little defense and some passing.
Serving is Maeda. Ball, another attempted dink shot by Brindock. Ball is double-handed over that time by Croson. Put over, and a save by Maeda. There's Danielson knocking over Silva. Silva returns it, however. That ball is blocked after the hit by McHugh.
Maeda started everything with her great dig, and then here comes Kanani flying out of the back row. Silva making a terrific dig, and Hawaii getting another block.
Timeout, Notre Dame. We're in the 4th set. Hawaii leads 2 sets to 1, and they lead in the 4th set 12-6 over Notre Dame.
Past that child's bedtime, wasn't it? But Rainbow Wahine Volleyball keeping her up.
Keeping her up. Now you see the hitting percentage. Hawaii 455, Notre Dame 077. Serving will be Maeda. Back up by Silva. Brindock. That ball is hit over by Bongo just into the game. Comes back. That goes off Hauser. Credit Croson.
See where Croson's hitting the ball right now down the line. She's got the matchup she likes going up against Notre Dame's setter.
Meg Vonderhart just into the game for Notre Dame, number 11. She's a freshman from Wheaton, Illinois. Serving will be Maeda. 13 serving 6. Dug up by Silva. Chased down by Brindock. But Brindock, I should say, couldn't get there. Hawaii on a 7-1 run. Marie Roof will come into the game, replacing Hauser. Serving will be Maeda.
Coach Brown trying to push all the right buttons, get the right players in there.
Brindock again. And that ball goes off the Hawaii touch in the back row. So Vanderhaar will be credited with the kill. Epping will leave. Coming in for Notre Dame will be Alubwe in the front row. Ball hit over by Hewitt. Blocked by Hewitt, but it goes off, or rather goes out off the hit by Vanderhaar. Vanderhaar did not play in last night's match. She didn't play in the first three sets of tonight's match. Playing here in the fourth in the front row for Notre Dame. Serving is Silva. Blake, Uiato. Tough angle again by Croson, and she hits it out. So it's 14-9.
Dave Shoji's up yelling touch, but none of the four officials on the floor saw it. Let's see if we can catch a touch here as Croson hits it cross court. Oh yeah, definitely a touch.
Dink shot. Saved by Ruth. Vanderhaar. Brindak gets it across. Uiato to Hewitt. And Hewitt able to just shank it off of Vanderhaar for the point.
I love that set by Uiato going to Hewitt again in a misdirection counter flow play where Hewitt only had one blocker up to go against. They're all going out on Danielson or Croson.
Croson serving. Vanderhaar puts it over, and right there was Danielson. Vanderhaar kind of scooped it. And Danielson was there to straighten everything out.
How athletic is this? Kanani goes up, she gets the block, and then she goes up quickly again and taps it down.
With the other hand.
Yeah, one with the left, one with the right. How athletic is she?
16-9, Hawaii leading here in the fourth. Serving again will be Croson.
We got the double sub in, Stauber and Goodman. Goodman the blocker, Stauber the center.
Dug up by Deely. Ball is hit over by Alubwe, and that goes off of Stauber. Hawaii leading 16-10. Serving will be Brenda. Blake to Uiato. Danielson, that goes into the net. Saved by Alubwe. Notre Dame gets it across. Danielson tries it again. That goes off the block, saved by Hewitt. Uiato to Danielson. From her knees, in the back row is Deely. That ball is hit over by Hauser. Rally continues. Down the middle comes Croson. That ball dug up by Deely. Deely behind the 12-meter over the 3-meter line, double hands it over to the middle to Croson. Gets it over. Brindak is there. Alubwe, Hauser, Danielson. That ball dug up by Vanderhaar. Blake to Uiato, tries to dink. It's blocked back. Ball hit over. And that is dug up. What a rally. Ball hit by Hewitt. That's dug up again by Deely. Hit over by Hauser. Blake is there. Joust at the net. Saved by Uiato. Blake, Danielson, and a net violation on Hawaii. Net violation was on Danielson. Rally of the two nights.
Easily. That ball went back and forth. Great attacking on the offense. Great back row defense. Dave Shoji's got 2 timeouts, so I don't think he'll let Debbie Brown seem yet much closer than one more point before he calls a timeout.
So that's an ace. An ace by Brindak. Just over the cable. 16-12. Notre Dame has closed to a 4-point deficit. Serving will be Brindak. Gets it in. Croson. Uiato goes cross court. Ball is hit by Danielson. And that's in. A point for Hawaii. 17-12. Talk about great Wahine volleyball. Just the rally. Just the length of the rally. It just went on and on. Stauber goes out. Maeda comes in replacing her.
Again, this is just a great test for Dave Shoji and his Rainbow Wahine. Mid-season non-conference ball.
Deely chased down by Silva. Down to Hart, gets it across. Maeda jousted the net, won by Uiato over Alupwe. 18-12. Timeout call by Notre Dame. So we'll be back.
One of the unsung heroes of the night, Mita Uiato, Hawaii setter, gets a little block right there. Then she gets a little mini joust at the net. And then gets in on another block and another joust. Tommy Heffernan takes some credit for it, the weight guy.
Brindock hits it over. Maeda with the save. Danielson blocked by Hauser of Notre Dame. Uiato sets up Adolfo. Irish struggle, but they get it over. Maeda is there. And Adolfo. Maeda to Uiato to Adolfo.
I like the verbalizing in transition. That time Kalei Adolfo called for the tight slide as opposed to the wide slide. And it connected. But still, Uiato's connections with the middles have a little bit to be desired here. Hewitt hitting 143 in the night. Adolfo hitting 286.
Lubwe gets it over for Notre Dame. Ball hit over by Adolfo. Hauser. Right there is Maeda. Danielson back up by Silva. Hauser again. This one goes off Hewitt.
I tell you, Hauser can really bring it on that right side, taking off with one leg. Doesn't even need much takeoff, maybe just one step, and she gets up there. You know, she's 6'2" and got long reach.
Hauser with 12 kills. That's another point for Notre Dame. 19-13 on the serve by McHugh. Now they change it, 19-14.
Dig first, Maggie, dig first.
McHugh serves it again. Back up by Blake. Uiato to Croson. Ball is hit over by Dealey, and Hawaii unable to really respond to that. And it's 19-15.
Dave Church's got 2 timeouts. I think he should use one right here.
And he does. 19-15. Hawaii leading Notre Dame in the 4th set. So Notre Dame close enough to make Hawaii uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, Dave Shoji's having to work tonight. He's coaching as intensely as I've seen him this whole year. He knows how important this is as far as his RPI ranking is concerned. He knows it's important for him to win all his non-conference matches. And this is one that's very, very important because when he gets back into the WAC, he's playing, you know, the WAC's average RPI, I think, is something like 142. And so when he plays the rest of this WAC season, it's going to do nothing but hurt Hawaii's RPI ranking, which is the strength of schedule that was rankings that are just put out yesterday, actually. Hawaii came out number 7 in the country, which is very high.
And Notre Dame was 54.
54, yes, exactly. So Dave Shoji needs to really needs to win this because the next, half dozen games are going to do nothing but hurt his RPI. And what he wants to do, he wants to finish in the top 16 so that the NC2A committee will hopefully rank Hawaii in the top 16 and give them a home bid so they can host for the first 2 matches. But they're not going to do it if Hawaii's RPI ranking falls below 17. Let's see if we can take a look at the RPI graphic we have worked up here. The non-conference foes, you see their RPIs, San Francisco, Wichita State, 57-47. Nobody is worse than Pacific at 80. So that's a pretty good strength of schedule. That's why he's got that number 7. Because all of Hawaii's opponents and how high they're ranked. The rest of the WAC, by the way, is, like I said, is ranked an average of 142. And there you see the WAC. Hawaii at 7, Mexico State at 51, and then the rest too high to count.
Triple digits. Yes. Serving is McHugh as we resume. Danielson off the block, McHugh in the back row. Brindock to Dealey. That is into the net. Now that's a point for Hawaii. Hawaii 20, Notre Dame 15 here in the fourth set.
Notre Dame played some pretty terrific defense on the first line of defense at blocking, and they're playing some pretty good defense in the second line, back row.
Serving Uiato. Here's Deely. Deely able to control the double block of Hawaii. Adolfo and Hartung. Point for Notre Dame, and it is 20-16.
Deely, first Notre Dame player into double digits. She's got 11 now. Alubwe with 9, Epping with 8. Hauser with 12.
Epping comes into the game. Alubwe leaves. Coming in to serve is Kathleen Severin. 16 serving 20. Severin serves it to Danielson. Uiato, not a good hit that time by Hartung. Saved by Croson. Ball is hit by Hauser, and he knocks over, or rather she knocks over Blake.
Well, you knew the ball was going to Hauser. She's the leading attacker with 13 kills, now only 3 errors and 28 swings. You knew it was going to go there, but she's just so tough to stop. She moves it around, goes cross court, goes down the line.
Severin serving. There's Blake popping it into the air. Uiato, not a good back set that time for Adolfo. That's blocked back. Ball is hit over by Croson. Advantage now Notre Dame. Brindock to Hauser. That's dug up by Hartung. Ball is hit over, but not well, by Danielson. Notre Dame still very much alive. Ball hit over again by Deely. Ball hit over by Hartung. Comes right back. Danielson tries it, and that's blocked. Danielson cannot get it over the net. And it is now 20-18. Notre Dame has come back within 2. Hartung is yanked from the game. Satelli comes in. Adolfo stays in that front row. Serving is Severin. Croson, Uiato, Satelli.
There's the X Factor. Doing it again, just like her mother, Leanne, used to do in the early 80s. And she won 2 NCAA championships. Split block. They thought the ball was going back, I think, to Danielson, who was playing on the right then.
Serving is Danielson. Ball hit over by Hauser. One-handed save by Danielson. Croson gets it across. Advantage Notre Dame. Ball hit over by Epping. So Epping able to get it in for Notre Dame, and it is 21-19. Notre Dame has battled back, living up to that nickname, the Fighting Irish. Serving is Severin. Comes over. Uiato sets up Satelli. That'll be returned. Deely gets it over. And Deely through the block. And it's 21-20. So Notre Dame is right there to overcome Hawaii and take it to a 5th set.
Ball just squeezed through the block.
Not a good hit that time by Hauser. Hauser, the setter, hit it wide and hit it long.
Luckily for Hawaii, Hauser's in the back row right now. She leads him in kills with 13.
Serving is Blake. Ball hit over by Deely. Danielson. Satelli. 23-20. Satelli is the spice. Satelli is the spice to that recipe that equals success. 23-20. Roof comes back into the game, replacing Hauser. Hauser, born in Honolulu. She's had a very good match.
Graduated from Assumption High School in Kentucky.
Blake serving for Hawaii. That ball just hit over by Epping. There's Danielson. Behind that line again, airborne. That's worthy of the price of admission when Danielson gets airborne like that.
Great set from Uiato as well. Notre Dame could not get more than one blocker up on Danielson, and that's dangerous.
Aloha ball for the match. 24-20. Serving is Blake. Dug up by McHugh. And that ball hit down by Deely.
Deely, the senior co-captain. She's the 8th Irish player to join the 1,000-kill, 1,000-dig club. Preseason All-Big East pick. Crucial kill right there.
Nate Vonderhaar comes back into the game for Notre Dame. Serving will be Deely. Crowd standing. Notre Dame can make no mistakes. Uiato sets up Satali. Deely pops it in the air. Silva. Ball hit over by Vonderhaar. There's Blake. Uiato. Satali. Yes!
She's the X Factor. Saved the day. Chantil Satali. Wow.
Hawaii wins it in 4, 25-21 in the 4th set. But Notre Dame made them sweat. Notre Dame made them call timeouts. Notre Dame experimented with the change in momentum. And Hawaii was able to succeed after losing badly in the 3rd set. They came back to hang on in the 4th set. So Hawaii is now on the year 19-1. And they are 9-1 against Notre Dame. So Dave Shoji did not have a tiptoe through the tulips night, that's for sure. Howard is with him now.
Jim, thank you very much. Here with Coach Shoji. I guess the Fighting Irish, they had a little bit of fight tonight.
Well, I knew that. I saw that on the film. They didn't quit, and I could see they were a feisty group. And when you're down 2-0, you're either going to pack it in or you're going to come out fighting, and they did. So I give them a lot of credit.
Let's talk about some of the positives that you take away. You're now 19-1 in the season. I know you're still kind of tinkering at the lineup. Chantil is making it very hard to keep her out of the match. But it's great to have that go-to person off the bench, too.
Well, she gave us a lift tonight. She's got a live arm. And, I thought Calais played well. She got some key kills in game 4. So, both of them have their own strengths, and they both add to the team. So it's a tough call. But Chantil really gave us a lift at the end.
It's a great dilemma to have. You talked coming into this match, these 2 matches, that you were a little bit tired. Now you have 2 big matches, Friday and Sunday, Utah State and Idaho. So do you take a day off, or how do you work your team the next couple days?
Yeah, we're going to take tomorrow off. I mean, it's been a long week already. And try to regroup on Thursday, have a good practice, short practice, and try to regroup. And the problem now is we don't have any practice time, and it's hard to work on things, but we got one more day here.
19-1, that sounds pretty good.
Well, I can't complain about the record, and it's a good team that we beat, and I think it helps our RPI to play Notre Dame.
Absolutely. Coach, congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Jim, back to you.
Okay, Howard. Hawaii winning tonight in 4. Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Players of the match for Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. It is Hauser, Jenny Hauser. She had 13 kills hit, 323, and had 3 blocks. And for Hawaii, Jane Croson, 19 kills hit, 286. And she also supplied 10 digs. So Hawaii sweeps Notre Dame. Notre Dame now 11-8 on the year. Notre Dame lifetime is 9-1. Hawaii is 9-1 against Notre Dame. But you have to admire the Fighting Irish. This is a very young team, and they're a team that is going to make you play your best volleyball, and that's what they did against Hawaii tonight. But again, Hawaii has that ability that once they're challenged, even though they gave up a set tonight, they were not going to lose that 4th set.
No, they weren't. They're a little more experienced than Notre Dame. Notre Dame, remember, they have 10 of their 14 players are freshmen or sophomores. And that inexperience, I think, kind of got to them in the end. And Hawaii's experience, people like Chantil Satali, a senior coming in, not having played much tonight, comes in and just delivers big blows so that Irish come back. Irish are playing great defense. You got to give them credit. They really played solidly most of set number 2 last night, and almost all of tonight played very well.
Notre Dame goes back into the Big East. They were picked to be second in the Big East. They haven't quite lived up to that 15-team league. They right now are ranked 8th. They are 4-3 in the conference. They will go back to South Bend, Indiana, and resume their play. Hawaii now goes into that second kind of tour that the teams that they have already met in the WAC four-game win against Idaho, 4-game win against Utah State. Utah State comes in on Friday, and then on Sunday it will be Idaho. And don't forget, on Friday, the basketball teams, both men and women, will also debut following the volleyball. So big night on Friday. Pleasure working with you again. Hawaii wins it. They're 19-1 on the season, and that'll do it for us. Stay tuned now for the post-game report coming right up on OC Sports.